The journey of a maiden who feared herself worthless, across the seas and through her own heart. I'm certain we'll meet again in the world of Voice of Cards someday.
Muy buenas. Pues, como algunos ya sabréis, se ha anunciado la continuación de Voice of Cards. Desde Square dicen que no es una continuación, que se pueden jugar independientemente, pero aún así he visto yo personajes en este nuevo juego que aparecían en el anterior. Y nada que decir, que es una muy buena noticia. A mí me encantó el primer Voice of Cards y me agrada que haya más juegos de estos. Aprovechando este anuncio, vamos a jugar a la primera parte, el primer capítulo del primer juego. Y bueno, si no lo conocíais, este es Voice of Cards, la primera parte.
This is Castle Advent. Queen Nilla reigns over the kingdom from within its walls. In the crowded audience chamber jostle all manner of knights, adventurers, and bounty hunters. The white-robed adventurers stand close to the throne. A palace guard calls over the tumult, "Be silent! Her Royal Majesty graces us with her presence." The cacophony ceases the moment Queen Nilla enters the chamber. Seated upon the throne, the Queen faces the crowd. Her lips part. "Thank you all for heeding my call to slay the dragon. Whatever it takes to defeat this reawakened evil, I ask that you do it. Whomsoever conquers this beast will be honored for ages to come and handsomely rewarded." At that, the gathered crowd cheers loud enough to shake the castle's very foundations. "Leave the dragon to us, Your Majesty," say the white-robed adventurers, as if the beast's demise at their hands is assured. Indeed, you did well to reclaim the royal treasure, the queen replies. I thank you, for my stomach becomes most upset without it, so the treasure is a staple of the royal medicine cabinet. It puts my mind at ease to know the Ivory Order offers its aid in slaying the dragon. The trio are disciples of the Ivory Order, a charitable organization beloved the realm over. Indeed, anyone would think this illustrious trio the heroes of our tale. But they'd be wrong. So we just gotta slay the dragon and we'll be drowning in gold. The man trails off, drooling over unknowable fantasies. Beside him, a strange creature lets out a chirping coo. Pay attention, because this is important. There he is, or there you are, I should say, the hero of our tale. A humble bounty hunter. You love little in this realm more than coin. A seemingly tedious fellow who doesn't hesitate to claim the title of hero for yourself. When you heard about the quest to slay the dragon, it was the promise of reward that lured you to the castle. Now then, if you wish to officially register for the hunt, see me so I can get your signature. You wonder why you need to sign anything, but head for the guard anyway. Shall we? Sign here, says the guard, handing you a pen and paper. You sign your name. A fine name. After you've signed, the guard motions to the strange creature beside you, the monster too. You sign your companion's name as well, Mar. Mar, your friend and sometimes traveling companion. Though he can't speak the human tongue, he seems to understand it well enough. Thank you. Now we'll know what to have engraved on your tombstones. Can't ask the dead what name to mark their grave with, after all, the guard chortles. You want the reward as badly as you don't want to die. You figure you better make some strong friends. Asking Queen Nilla to join you is beyond preposterous. Better not even try. Don't get yourself killed out there, says the guard curtly. Offer to join forces with the Ivory Order trio? We select few are sufficient to defeat the dragon. We require no additional aid. And we certainly don't require the aid of a no-name wastrel. With that, the trio takes their leave of the castle. Never know what you might hear that'll lead you in the right direction. The man wanders off somewhere, muttering to himself. You'll need tough gear, the man says, wandering off. Let us depart. We have a realm to save. He grabs his less than enthused colleague by the wrist and drags her off. You catch a glimpse of the terrified look on her face. And then the two disappear out of the audience chamber. You ask him to team up, but he refuses angrily. I ain't splitting the reward with nobody. You weren't planning on sharing either, so you don't try to change his mind. Before you even open your mouth to ask him to team up, he cuts you off. Thanks, but no thanks. I'll let the order handle this. Me, I'm heading home. No way am I adventuring with anyone who keeps that sort of creepy company, he says. The castle will close to visitors shortly. Please be on your way. You're shooed out of the castle. In the end, you set out, just the two of you, to hunt the dragon. The door is shut tight. You spy a keyhole on it, suggesting the existence of a corresponding key. The old man kindly warned you of the dangerous monsters outside of town. Before you stands a sign calling for people to join the hunt for the dragon. Earlier, you saw the bit about the handsome reward for whoever slays the dragon and hightailed it to the castle. A woman stares at the sign, transfixed. Her face curls into a scowl as she notices you. "Monster!" the woman cries and flings magic at Mar. Startled by the spell, Mar grows dizzy. You whirl to the woman and shout, "What are you doing?" "This ain't a monster," you growl, as the woman snarls over you, "I hate monsters." The two of you bicker for quite a while. In the end, the woman admits she may have jumped to conclusions, but stubbornly refuses to apologize. Inwardly, you call her unsavory names as your attention shifts to a different topic of conversation. Turns out she really hates the dragon and would love to take him down with her own two hands. But she knows she's no match for him alone, so she's at a loss for what to do. When you tell her you're after the same thing, she squints down her nose at you. "Fine," she says, "I can help you." No way are you teaming up with someone who attacked you out of the blue. But as you open your mouth to tell her off, "I only want to see the dragon dead. I don't care about anything else," she mutters. You overhear her remarks and grin without thinking. Then you don't care about getting a share of the reward. You couldn't have asked for a better companion. Your opinion of her improved. You happily joined forces with the black-clad woman. She introduces herself as Melanie. She tells you she is a witch, but says nothing of why she hates monsters or what grudge she bears against the dragon. Welcome to Nexton, hails a man. You try asking the man if he knows anything about the dragon. The man's eyes widen. He leans close, cupping his hand to his mouth. Welcome to Nexton, he whispers in your ear. The man helpfully advises you take the opportunity to purchase equipment and curatives while you are in town. The woman tells you she's so terrified of what might happen if the dragon attacks the town, she hasn't been able to eat. A woman sits hunched over by the side of the road. Upon catching sight of you, she calls out for your aid. She's sprained her ankle and needs you to take her to the nearby apothecary. You try to lift the woman into your arms, but the weight's too much for you to bear. You lay the woman back down where you found her and mutter a quiet farewell before turning to leave. Upon seeing that, Melanie snaps. What kind of person are you? Ain't like it's my fault she's hurt, you whine like a child. Ignoring you, Melanie gingerly helps the woman up. Mar bends so the woman can get on his back, and the two of them head off in search of the apothecary. You watch them walk away for a moment before following, complaining to yourself about what a wasted time this is. You arrive at the apothecary. After taking a curative, the woman begins hopping up and down. Nothing holds a candle to Ivory Order medicine, she beams. She thanks you and pulls something from her breast pocket. You've helped someone, albeit not quite out of the goodness of your own heart. It might be a good idea to do that again, should you come across anyone else in need of assistance. The girl says if you follow this road northwest for a bit, you'll come to Thryston. It seems the majority of the world's medicine is made by the Ivory Order. Many people depend on it. That's probably part of the reason the Order has so many ardent supporters. Apparently, a monster researcher lives in Thriston and might know something about the dragon. It seems you've learned all you can here. Time to move on. As your eyes roam everywhere but the path you walk, you barrel right into someone. When you turn to see who it is, you see the Ivory Order trio from the castle. Winifred, are you all right? The sagely old man asks. I'm fine, the woman called Winifred replies. Thank you, Hedwin. Berwin, the old man calls, turning to their stoic companion. He jerks forward, as if to defend Hedwin and Winifred. The trio advances on you. How dare you treat disciples of the Ivory Order with such disrespect? They're the ones who ran into you, so if anything, they should be apologizing. We were standing still, says Hedwin, his calm tone belying the anger on his face. Muttering a half-hearted apology, you try to keep walking. But that's when you notice something in your hand. Looks like you accidentally grabbed Winifred's coin purse when you ran into her. Thief, bellows Berwin, drawing his weapon. Guess you've got to fight your way past. As if forced by your magnificent presence itself, the Ivory Order disciples stagger a step back. It would seem you have the guts to take on the dragon, if nothing else, says Hedwin. You mock the Ivory Order disciples for being sore losers. A scandalized look on his face. Berwin reveals the truth. We'd never actually bother fighting punks like you with our full strength. Now give that back, says Winifred, snatching the wallet out of your grip. We mustn't tarry any longer. To the monster researcher of Thriston with us, Hedwin urges his companions and the trio depart. Aimless wandering can be fun, but if you want purpose and direction, I'd suggest sticking to the path. About the enemy. Kick a rock down the road, muttering about what jerks those three from the Ivory Order are. Cut it out, chides Melanie. She warns you your anger will only come back to bite you in the rear. You grumble, but your sulking is cut short when out of the rock you kicked must have hit it because it is really mad. Brace yourself for battle. The woman who fashions herself a missionary of love haughtily cries she's too beautiful and popular for her own good. Cyprian Ambre, I'm sorry, Cyprian Amber, has lived. All the townsfolk affectionately call him Cypri. If anyone knows anything about the dragon, it's him. He's a veritable monster expert. You ask Cypri if he knows anything about the dragon. He says he'll tell you if you do him a favor. The monsters stole a precious treasure from him. If you reclaim the treasure, Cypri promises to tell you all he knows about the dragon. It seems the treasure-thieving monster makes its hideout in the western cave. That's where you'll want to head. About the enemy. light can't reach the furthest depths of the cave, it may be impossible to proceed without a torch. You don't have a torch, but you can always buy one at the item shop in Thriston. Taking no heed of any danger, you press on. The cave is dark and dangerous. Are you sure you want to keep going without a torch? Are you sure you want to keep going without a torch? Perhaps you should... You make your exit. How may I help you? The proprietress inquires. Will that be all? The proprietress asks. Light the torch. It'll be much easier to explore now with your surroundings better illuminated. Though the torch lights your immediate surroundings, you still cannot peer far into the distance. The door is shut tight. Upon closer examination of the door, you spot a cavity that looks like some sort of sphere should go there. The ground tinkles beneath your feet. You look down to find it is littered with a message is carved into the ground. Never forget. A bitter final missive from an adventurer done in by monsters, perhaps. Put the magic sphere into the cavity, and the door opens. A claret trail leads you deeper into the cave. Was the walking wounded a monster, or a knot forms in your gut? You raise the torch to get a better look at your surroundings. The walls have been gouged and scarred as far as you can see. Another message comes into view, written in tiny letters among the scars. What horrors transpired here? Press on, deeper into the cave. Light floods. Two mummified bodies lie close beside one another. Beside them, a message written in blood. We leave together. Perhaps they were lovers? Whatever the case, you notice the bellwether nestled in their hands. You gently pry it free, bend a knee, and say a small prayer for the dearly departed. You make to open the chest, but an ominous voice echoes around you. The next instant, something leaps at you out from the darkness. Monster defeated, you turn toward the treasure chest. And see those Ivory Order jerks rooting through it. You rush over, but you're too late to stop them. Sweet of you to take care of the monsters for us, trills Winifred. Tucking the spoils from the chest safely into a bag, the Ivory Order trio stroll away whence they came. Knowing you couldn't stop them if you tried, you can do nothing but stand slack-jawed and watch them go. The chest is empty, save for a ragged doll. Nice of them to leave us the trash, you grumble in irritation. For some reason, Melanie picks up the ragged doll. Your shoulders slump. All that effort, and this is all you get to show for it? You find nothing else even close to treasure. Hope Cypri is ready for bad news. Leave now would be the fastest way out. You left the western cave. Were you able to find my treasure? Cypri asks. This is all we found, says Melanie, withdrawing the ragged doll. Cypri's eyes widen as soon as he sees the doll, and he reaches out to take it. Without breaking his gaze away from the doll, he begins to speak. Cypri tells you he gifted this doll to his young daughter a long time ago, but she fell gravely ill and died. Since then, Cypri has treasured this doll as he treasured his daughter. Then the monsters took it from him. Cypri turns to Melanie, his head bowed deeply in gratitude. So you reclaimed the treasure by complete accident. You step closer to Cypri. What do you know about the dragon? You rudely inquire. Cypri gestures as if to say, let's not get ahead of ourselves. Far to the east of town is a place called Unionville, where monsters and humans live together in harmony. According to Cypri, you might be able to learn something there, as the dragon and monsters are not totally unrelated. Upon hearing that, you turn on. Cypri calls out to stop you. Journeying to Unionville entails traversing the dense expanse of the bewildering wood. You'll need this, he says, and holds out something for you. You won't make it through the bewildering wood without it, Cypri says. Your sights set on the distant Unionville, you resolve to navigate through the bewildering wood.